he doth my voice and prayer hear, and in my days will call because he bowed to me his ear. The pangs of death on every side about beset me round. The pains of hell get hold of me, distress and grief I found. Upon Jehovah's name therefore I called, and he did say, deliver thou my soul, O Lord, I do thee humbly pray.
Ma Betty be hearty soon.
Out of here!
Ma Betty not gone down.
Out of my sight! Out of my... Oh my God. God help me. Betty, child, dear child, will you wake? Will you open up your eyes? Betty, little one.
Uncle? Susanna Walcott's here from Dr. Griggs.
Oh, let her come. Let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
What does the doctor say, child?
He bid me come and tell you, Reverend Sir, that he can't discover no medicine for it in his books.
Then he must search on.
Aye, sir, he have been searching since he left you, sir, but he bid me tell you that you might want to look into unnatural things for the cause of it.
No, no. There be no unnatural causes here. Tell him I have sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly, and Mr. Hale will surely confirm that. Let him look to medicine, and put out all thought of unnatural causes here. There be none.
Aye, sir, he bid me tell you.
Speak nothing of it in the village, Susanna.
Go directly home and speak nothing of unnatural causes.
Aye, sir, I pray for her.
Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about. I think you'd best go down and deny it yourself. The parlor's packed with people, sir. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? That my daughter and my niece I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest?
Uncle, we did dance. And that you tell them I confessed it. And I'll be whipped if I must be. But they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not witch.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you have not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. And when you leaped out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened and then she fainted. And there's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down.
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look you, child, your punishment will come in its time. But if you trafficked with spirits in the forest, I must know it now. For surely my enemies will, and they will ruin me with it.
But we never conjured spirits.
Then why can she not move herself since midnight? This child is desperate. It must come out. My enemies will bring it out. Let me know what you've done then. Abigail, do you understand that I have many enemies?
I have heard of it, Uncle.
There's a faction that is sworn to drive me from my pulpit. Do you understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very center of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the forest.
It was sport, Uncle.
You call this sport? Abigail, if you know something that may help the good doctor, for God's sake, tell it to me. I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire when I came on you. Why was she doing that? And I heard a screeching and gibberish coming from her mouth. She was swaying like a dumb beast over that fire.
She always sings her Barbados songs and we dance.
I cannot blink what I saw, Abigail, for my enemies will not blink it. I saw a dress lying on the grass.
A dress?
Aye, a dress. And I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it. Now tell me true, Abigail, and I pray you feel the weight of truth upon you. For now my ministry is at stake. My ministry and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abomination you have done, Give me all of it now, for I dare not be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
There is nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, I have fought here 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people to me. And now, just now, when some good respect is rising for me in the parish, you compromise my very character. I've given you a home, child. I've put clothes upon your back. Now give me upright answer. Your name in the town, it is entirely white, is it not?
Why, I am sure it is, sir. There be no blush about my name.
Abigail, is there any other cause than you have given me for your being discharged from Goody Proctor's service? I've heard it said, and I tell you, as I heard it, that she comes so rarely to church this year, for she will not sit so close to something soiled. What signified that remark?
She hates me, Uncle. She must, for I would not be her slave. It's a bitter woman, a lying, cold, sniveling woman, and I will not work for such a woman.
She may be, and yet it has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of their house, and in all this time, no other family has ever called for your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them. Do you begrudge my bet, Uncle?
No, no.
My name is good in the village. I will not have it said my name is soiled. Goody Proctor is a gossiping liar.
No, I cannot have anyone. Why, Goody Putnam, come in.
It is a marvel. It is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody Putnam, it is...
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, it's sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over Ingersoll's barn. Came down light as a bird, he says.
Now, look you, Goody Putnam, she never... Why, good morning, Mr. Putnam.
It is a providence. The thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's out, sir? What's...
Why, her eyes is closed. Look you in.
Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your Ruth is sick?
I'd not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into them, forked and hooved.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does Ruth ail?
She ails as she must. She never waked this morning, but her eyes open and she walks, and she hears not, sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely.
They say you sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly.
A precaution only. He has much experience in all demonic arts, and I feel that...
He has indeed, and found a witch in Beverly last year, and let you remember that.
Now, Goody Ann, they only thought that were a witch, and I'm certain there would be no element of witchcraft here.
No witchcraft. Now look you, Mr. Paris.
Thomas, I pray you, leap not to witchcraft. I know that you least of all, Thomas, would ever wish so disastrous a charge laid upon me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They will howl me out of Salem for such corruption in my house.
Mr. Paris, I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue, but I cannot if you hold back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands on these children.
But Thomas, you cannot.
Tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Reverend Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in this earth. And believe me, sir, you never saw more hardy babies born. I have spoken nothing, but my heart has clamored intimations. And now this year, I see my Ruth, my only. I see her turning strange, a secret child she has become this year, and shrivels like a sucking mouth for pulling on her life too. So I thought to send her to your Tituba.
To Tituba? What may Tituba?
Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Goody Ann is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
I may take it on my soul, but who else may surely tell us what murdered my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Paris, and mark this proof. Mark it! Last night, my Ruth were ever so close to the little spirits. I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb now, than some power of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign,
Don't
Mr.
you understand
Paris.
it, Mr. Paris? There is a murdering witch among us, bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
Then you were conjuring spirits last night.
Not I, sir. Tituba and Ruth.
Oh, Abigail, what proper payment for my charity? Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You've discovered witchcraft.
In my house, Thomas, they will topple me with this. They will make of it a...
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little, I think. She gave a powerful sneeze before.
Ah, there is a sign of life.
I fear no more, Goody Putnam. It were a running sneeze. Another like it. We'll shake her wits together, I'm sure.
Will you leave me now, Thomas? I would pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why do you not go
No!
down?
No. I have no answer for that crowd. I'll wait till Mr. Hale arrives. If you will, Goody Ann.
Now look you, sir. If you strike out against the village, pressing for it. Come down, speak to them, pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them.
I'll lead them in a psalm, but let you say nothing of witchcraft yet. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I have had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth now, do you hear?
Aye, Mum.
If she starts for the window, cry out for me at once.
I will, Uncle.
There is a terrible power in her arms today.
How is Ruth sick?
It is where this, I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Betty? Now stop this, Betty! Sit up now! Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one, and it did wake her for a minute. Here, let me have her.
No! We'll be coming up. Listen now. If they be questioning us, tell them we dance. I told him as much already.
Aye, and what more?
He knows Crucible conjured Ruth's sisters to come out of the grave.
And what more?
He saw you naked.
Oh, Jesus!
What do we do? The village is out. I just came from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby.
She means to tell. I know it.
Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging error. A hanging like they done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth, Abby. You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things.
Oh, will be whipped.
I never done none of it, Abby. I only looked.
Oh, you are a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren? What a grand peeping courage you have.
Betty? Now, Betty, dear, wake up now. It's Abigail. I'll beat you, Betty! My, you seem improving. I talked to your papa and I told him everything, so there's nothing to...
I want my mama!
What ails you, Betty? Your mama's dead and buried.
I'll fly to mama. Let me fly!
I told him everything. He knows now. He
You
knows
drank
everything.
blood, Abby! You didn't tell him that!
Betty, you never say that again.
You
will
did! You did! You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife!
You drank a charm to kill getting Proctor.
Shut up!
Now shut up!
Mama, mama!
Now look you, all of you. We dance and Tituba conjures Ruth Putnam's dead sisters. And that is all. And mark this. Let either of you breathe a word or the edge of a word about the other things, and I will come to you in the black of some terrible night. I will bring a twainy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine, and I have seen some British work done this night, and I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Now, you sit up and stop this.
What's got her? Abby, she's going to die. It's a sin to conjure witch.
I say shut it, Mary Warren!
Oh, I was just going home, Mr. Proctor.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Why shall I pay you? I am looking for you more often than my cows.
I only came to see the great doings in the world.
Oh, I'll show you a great doing on your arse one of these days. Now get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I'll best be off now. I have my route towards. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
God, I almost forgot how strong you are, John Proctor.
What's this mischief here?
Oh, she's only gone silly somehow.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, posh. We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leaped in on us. She took free, is all.
You're wicked yet, aren't you? You be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
No, Abby, that's done with.
You come 5 more to see a silly girl fly. I know you better.
I've come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
John, I am waiting for you every night.
Abby, I never give you hope to wait for me.
I have something better than hope, I think.
Abby, You'll wipe it out of mind. I'll not be coming for you more.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. Or did I dream that? It's she put me out. You cannot pretend it were you. I saw your face when she put me out, and you loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things, but not so wild, I think. I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nights.
I have hardly stepped off my farm this 7 months.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window, and I have seen you looking up, burning in your loneliness. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
I may have looked up.
And you must. You are no wintry man. I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I wake and walk about the house as though I'd find you coming through some door.
Child.
How do you call me child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hand before I ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mind. We never touched Abby.
But we did.
But we did not.
Oh, I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly
You
wife...
speak nothing of Elizabeth!
She is blackening my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She is a cold, sniveling woman, and you bend to her. Let her turn you...
Get off of my head!
I looked for John Proctor that took me from my sleep and put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by all these Christian women and their covenanted men. And now you bid me turn the light out of my eyes? I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor. Whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me. That is it.
What you doing? Girl, what ails you? Stop that bleeding! What happened? What did you do to her? Betty!
Screaming! The soul!
No, God forbid! Mercy, run to the doctor, tell him what happened here!
Mark it for a sign, mark it!
That is an notorious sign of exact stupidness, a prodigious sign!
My mother told me that when they cannot bear to hear the name of
Rebecca, go to her in-law. She said we cannot bear to hear the name.
There's hard sickness here, John Ford, so please to keep it quiet.
I've not said a word. No one here can testify I've said a word. If she don't fly again, I heard she
Man,
flies.
be quiet now!
What have you done?
What do you make of it, Rebecca?
Will you go to my roof and see if you can wake her?
I think she'll wake in time. Pray, calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I'm 26 times a grandma. And I've seen them all through their silly seasons, and when it come on them, they'll run the devil bow-legged, keeping up with their mischief. I think she will wake when she tires of it. A child's spirit is like a child, can never catch it by running after it. You must stand still, and for love will soon itself come back.
Aye, that's the truth, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My roof is bewildered. Rebecca, she cannot eat.
Perhaps she's not hungry yet. I hope you have not decided to go in search of loose spirits, Mr. Paris. I heard promise of that outside.
A wide opinion's running in the parish that the devil may be among us, and I would satisfy them that they are wrong.
Then let you come out and call them wrong. Did you consult the warrants before you sent for this minister to look for devils?
He is not coming to look for devils.
Then what's he coming for?
There'll be children dying in the village, Minister.
I've seen none die. This society would not be a bag to swing around your head, Mr. Putnam.
I did not know you worried so in the society, Mr. Proctor. I do not think I saw you at Sabbath meeting since snow flew.
I have trouble enough without I come 5 miles to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. Take it to heart, Mr. Paris. There are many others who stay away from church these days because you hardly even mention God anymore.
Why, that's a drastic job.
It's somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for children, Rebecca. It is not the children who are unmindful of their obligations toward this ministry.
Are there really those unmindful?
I should say the better half of Salem Village.
And more than that.
Where is my wood? My contract provides I be supplied with all my firewood. I am waiting since November for a stick, and even in November, I had to show my frostbitten hands like some London beggar.
You're allowed £6 a year to buy your wood, Mr. Paris.
I regard that £6 as part of my salary.
60 plus 6 for firewood.
The salary is £66, Mr. Proctor. I am not some preaching farmer with a book under my arm. I am a graduate of Harvard College.
And well instructed in arithmetic.
Mr. Corey, you would look far to find a man of my kind at £60 a year. I am not used to this poverty. I left a thrifty business in the Barbados to serve the Lord. I do not fathom it. Why am I persecuted here? I cannot offer but one proposition, but there be howling riot of argument. I have often wondered if the devil be in it somewhere. I cannot understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Paris, you are the first minister that ever did demand a deed to this house.
Man, don't a minister deserve a house to live in?
To live in, yes, but to ask ownership is like you should own the meeting house. The last meeting I read, you spoke to us so long with deeds and mortgages, I thought it were an auction.
I want a mark of confidence is all. I am your third preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like a cat whenever some majority feels the whim. You people seem not to comprehend that a minister is the Lord's man in the parish. A minister is not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted.
Aye.
There's either obedience or the church will burn like hell is burning.
Can you not speak 1 minute without me land in hell? I am sick of hell.
It is not for you to say what is good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
What are we, Quakers? We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor, and you may tell that to your followers.
My followers?
There is a party in this church. I am not blind. There is a faction and a party.
Against you?
Against him and all authority.
Why then? I must find the party and join it.
He does not mean that.
He's infested now.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority.
No, you cannot break charity with your minister. You are another kind, John. Clasp his hand. Make your peace.
I have crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find the party. He says there's a party.
I've changed my opinion of this man, John. Mr. Paris, I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you.
Why, thank you, Giles.
It suggests that the man with the trouble be among us all these years. Wherefore is everybody suing everybody else? Think on it. It's a deep thing, and dark as a pit. I'm 6th time in court this year.
Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say good morning without you clapping for defamation? You're old, Giles, and you're not hearing as well as you did.
John Proctor, I've only last month collected £4 damages for you publicly saying I burned the roof off your house.
I never said no such thing, but I paid you for it, so I hope I can call you deaf without charge. What say you, Giles? Help me drag my lumber home.
A moment, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you're dragging, if I may ask you?
My lumber from out my forest by the riverside?
What, we've surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my bounds. It is in my bounds,
In
Mr.
your
Proctor.
bounds? I bought that tract from Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
He had no right to sell it. As it stands clear in my grandfather's will that all the land between the river...
Your grandfather had a habit of winning land that never belonged to him, if I may say plain.
That's God's truth. He nearly willed away my north pasture, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he set his name to it. Let's get your lumber home, John. I feel a sudden will of work coming on.
You load one oak of mine and you'll fight to drag it home.
And we'll win too, Putnam. This fool and I. Come on.
I'll have my men on you, Corey. I'll clamber in on you.
Pray you someone to take these?
Oh, Mr. Hale, it's good to see you again. My, they're heavy.
They are weighted with authority.
Well, you do come prepared.
We shall need hard study if it comes to tracking down the old boy. Say, you cannot be Rebecca Nurse.
I am, sir. Do you know me?
It is strange how I knew you, but I suppose you look as such a good soul should. We have all heard of your great charities in Beverly.
Do you know this gentleman, Mr. Thomas Putnam, and his good wife Anne?
Mr. Putnam, I had not expected such distinguished company, sir.
It does not help us today, Mr. Hale. We look to you to go to our home and save our child.
Your child ails too?
Her soul seems flown away. She sleeps and yet she walks.
She cannot eat.
Cannot eat. Do you men have afflicted children?
No, these are farmers. John Proctor.
He don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come, Giles?
No, John. I think not. I have a few queer questions of my own to ask this fellow.
I hear you to be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you leave some of it in Salem.
Will you look at my daughter, sir? She has tried to leap out the window. We discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she'd fly.
Tries to fly?
She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, Mr. Hale. That is a sure sign of witchcraft.
No.
Now let me instruct you. The mark of the devil is precise. The marks of his presence are as definite as stone. And I must tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you're prepared to believe me if I should find no bruise of hell upon her.
It is agreed, sir. It is agreed. We shall abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now, what were your first warning of this strangeness?
Why, sir, I discovered her and my niece and 10 or 12 of the other girls dancing in the forest last night.
You permit dancing?
No, it were secret.
Mr. Paris's slave has knowledge of conjuring, sir.
Well, we cannot be sure of that, Goody Ann.
I know it. I sent my child. She should learn from Tituba, who murdered her sisters.
Goody Ann, you sent a child to conjure up the dead?
Let God blame me, not you. Not you, Rebecca. I'll not have you judging me anymore. Is it natural to lose 7 before they live a day?
7 dead in childbirth.
What book is that?
What's there, sir?
Here is all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. In this book, the devil stands stripped of all his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your incubi and your succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your wizards of the night and of the day. Have no fear now. We shall find him out if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he has shown his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. She is truly in the devil's grip. We may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I'm too old for this.
Why, Rebecca, we may open up the boil of all our troubles today.
Let's hope for that. I'll go to God for you, sir.
I hope you do not mean we go to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
Come, Mr. Hill. Let's get on. Sit you here.
Mr. Hare, I've always wanted to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of strange books?
What books?
I cannot tell. She hides them.
Who does this?
Martha, my wife. You see, I've waited many a time to find her in the corner reading of a book. Now, what do you make of that?
Why, that's not necessarily...
It discomforts me. Last night, mark this. I tried, and I could not say my prayers. And then she closed her book, walks out of the house, and suddenly, mark this. I could pray again.
Stop with your prayer. That is strange. I shall speak further on that with you.
I'm not saying she's touched the devil now, but I'd admire to know what the book she reads and why she hides them. She'll not answer me, you see.
Aye, we'll discuss it. Now mark me. If the devil is in her, you shall witness some frightful wonders in this room. So please keep your wits about you. Mr. Putnam, stay close in case she flies. Now, Betty, dear, can you sit up? Can you hear me, dear? I'm John Hale, minister of Beverly. I'm here to help you. Do you remember my 2 daughters in Beverly?
How can it be the devil? Why would he choose my house to strike? We have all manner of licentious people in the village.
What victory would the devil have to win a soul already bad? It is the best the devil wants, and what is better than the minister?
That's deep, Mr. Paris. Deep.
Betty, answer Mr. Hale. Betty!
Does someone afflict you, child? It need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps some bird invisible to others comes to you, or a pig, or a mouse, or any beast at all. Or some figure bids you fly. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say, sir, that I saw a kettle in the grass where they were dancing.
That were only soup.
What sort of soup were in that kettle, Abigail?
Why, it were beans and lentils, I think.
Mr.
and...
Paris, you did not notice, did you, any living thing inside that kettle? A mouse, perhaps, a spider, a frog?
I do believe there were some movement in the soup.
That jumped in. We never put it in.
What jumped in?
Why, a very little frog jumped.
What, a frog, Abby?
Abigail, it may be your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tituba.
She called the devil?
I should like to speak with Tituba.
Goody Ann, will you bring her up?
How did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
Did you feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps, a trembling below the ground?
Hey, see the devil!
You can't.
Betty,
Wake
up!
Abigail!
Betty!
Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle?
She never drank it.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink
She
it?
tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I'm a proper girl.
Why can she not wake? Are you silencing this child?
Love me, Betty.
You have sent your spirit out upon this child, have you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil?
She sends her spirit on me in church. She makes me laugh at prayer.
She have often laughed during prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood.
You beg me to conjure. She beg me make charm.
Don't lie. She comes to me while I sleep. She's always making me dream corruption.
Why you say that, Abby?
Sometimes I wake and find myself standing in the open doorway and not a stitch on my body. I always hear her laughing in my sleep. I hear her singing her Barbados song.
Mr. Reverend, I never. Tituba, I want you to wake this child.
I have no power on this child, sir.
You most certainly do, and you will free her from it now. When did you compact with the devil?
I don't compact with no devil.
You will confess yourself, or I will take you and whip you to your death,
This
Tituba.
woman must be hanged. She must be taken in hand.
No! Don't hang Tituba! I tell him I don't desire to work for him, sir. Then you saw him. Now, Tituba, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is very hard to break with it. But we are going to help you tear yourself free.
Mr. Reverend, I do believe somebody else bewitching these children.
Who?
I don't know, sir, but the devil got him numerous witches.
Does he? Now, Tituba, look into my eyes. Come, look into me. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not?
Aye, sir, a good Christian woman.
And you love these little children.
Oh, yes, sir. I don't desire to hurt little children.
And you love God, Tituba.
I love God with all of my being.
And in God's holy name.
Bless him, bless him.
And to his glory.
Eternal glory. Bless him, bless God.
Open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine on you.
Oh, bless the Lord.
Now, when he comes to you, does he ever come with another person? Perhaps another person in the village. Someone you know.
Who came with him?
Sarah Good. Did you see Sarah Good with him? Or Osborne?
Was it man or woman came with him?
Oh, man or woman? Was woman.
What woman? A woman? You said what woman?
It was black and dark and I...
You could see him, why could you not see her?
Well, they always talking. They always running round and carrying on.
You mean out of Salem? Salem witches?
I believe so, yes, sir.
You must have no fear to tell us who they are, do you understand? We will protect you. The devil can never overcome a minister, you know that, do you not?
Oh, sir, I do.
You have confessed yourself to witchcraft. That speaks a wish to come to heaven's side, and we will bless you, Tituba.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Hale.
You are God's instrument put into our hands to help us discover the devil's agents among us. You are selected, Tituba. You are chosen to help us cleanse our village. So speak utterly. Turn your back on him and face God, and he will protect you.
Oh, God, protect Tituba.
Who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4, how many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Who? Their names,
Oh, how many times he did me kill you, Mr. Paris?
Kill me?
He said Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris no goodly man. Mr. Paris mean man and no gentleman. And he bid me rise out of my bed. I can't yet cross! But I tell him no. I don't hate that man. I don't want to kill that man. But he say, you work for me, Tituba, and I make you free. I give you a pretty dress to wear and put you way up high in the air and you go fly back to Barbados. And I say, you lie, devil, you lie. And then he come one stormy night to me and he said, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look, and there was Goody Good.
Sarah Good?
Aye, Sarah and Goody Osborne. I knew it. Goody Osborne were midwife to me 3 times. I bet you, Thomas, did I not?
Take courage. You must give us all their names. How can you bear to see this child suffering? Look at her, Tituba. Look at her God-given innocence. Her soul is so tender, and we must protect her. The devil is out to prey on her like a beast on the flesh of a pure lamb. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I dance for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil.
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
I will plant him far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then.
The farm is seated. The boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye.
Are you well today?
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh, is it? In Jonathan's trap?
No, she walked into the house this afternoon. I found her sitting in the corner like she'd come to visit.
Well, that's a good sign walking in.
Pray God. It hurt my heart to strip her. Poor rabbit.
It's well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender?
Aye. If the crop is good, I'll buy George Jacob's heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider?
Aye.
This farm's a conduit when you go foot by foot dropping seeds in it.
It must be.
You ought to bring some flowers into the house soon.
Oh, I forgot. I will tomorrow.
It's winter in here yet. On Sunday, let you come with me and we'll walk the farm together. Never seen such a lot of flowers in the earth. Lilacs are a purple smell. Lilacs are the smell of nightfall, I think. Massachusetts, well, beauty in the spring.
Aye, it is.
I think you're sad again. Are you?
You come so late, I thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
Well, you did speak of going earlier this week.
Well, I thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid her to go to Salem anymore.
Well, I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault, Elizabeth. It is a fault. You're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
Well, she frightened all my strength away.
Well, how may that mouse frighten you, Elizabeth? You
It is a mouse no more. I forbid her go, and she raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince, and says to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court.
Court? What court?
It is a proper court they have now. They sent 4 judges out of Boston, she says, weighty magistrates of the general court, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
Well, she's mad.
Oh, would to God she were. There'll be 14 people in the jail now, she says. And they'll be tried, and the court has the power to hang them too, she says.
See, they never
The
have.
deputy governor promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild, I think. She speak of Abigail. I thought she were a saint to hear her. And then Abigail brings the other girls into the court, and where she walks, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel. And then folks are brought before them, and if they scream, howl, and fall to the floor, the person's clapped in the jail for bewitching them.
Oh, it is a black mischief.
I would go to Salem now, John. I think so. You must tell them it is a fraud.
Aye, it is. It is surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever. He knows you well. And tell him what she told you last week in her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Ah, she did. She did.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
They must. Well, they must. It is a wonder they do believe her.
I would go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
But you cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good then. Let you think on it.
I'm only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl's a saint now, I think it is not easy to prove she's fraud, and the town gone so silly. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof of it.
You were alone with her?
For a moment alone, aye.
Well then, it is not as you told me.
For a moment, I say. The others come in soon after.
Do as you wish then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion.
I have
I'll
none.
not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet?
John, if it were not Abigail that you must go to hurt, would you falter now? I think not.
Now look.
I see what I see, John.
You will not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvement before you judge your husband any more. I forgot Abigail.
And I.
Spare me! You forget nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have gone tiptoe all 7 months round this house since she is gone. I have not moved from there to there without meaning to please you, and still an everlasting funeral marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted. Every moment judged for lies, as though I step into a court when I come into this house.
John, you are not open with me.
You saw her with the crowd, you said. Now
I'll plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
John, I'm
No more! I should have brought you down when you first told me your suspicions, but I wilted. And like a Christian, I confessed. Confessed! Some dream I had must have mistaken you for God that day. But you're not. You're not, and let you remember it. Let you sometimes see the goodness in me and judge me not.
I do not judge you. The magistrate sits in your heart that judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John. Only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How dare you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you. You dare leave this house again.
I'm sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray, hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I'm in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what of the proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house as you are paid £9 a year to do, and my wife not wholly well?
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit long hours in a chair, and I passed the time with sewing.
Why, thank you. It is a fair puppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true? There were 14 women arrested.
No, sir. There be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang! Hang, you say?
Aye.
But the deputy governor will permit it?
He sentenced her. He must. But not Sarah Good, for Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confessed? To what?
That she sometimes made a compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God's thrown down and we all must worship hell forevermore.
But surely you know what a jabberer she is. Did you not tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court, she near to choked herself again.
How? Choked you?
She sent her spirit out.
Oh, Mary, surely you
She tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
Well, I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come into the court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman, for she sleep in ditches and so very old and poor. But then she sit there, denying and denying. I feel a misty coldness climbing up my back. The skin on my skull begin to creep. There is a clamp around my neck, and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it were my voice. And all at once I remember everything she done to me.
Why? What does she do to you?
Many times, Mr. Proctor, she come to this very door, begging bread and a cup of cider. And mark this, when I turn her away empty, she mumbled.
Mumbled? Well, she may mumble if she's hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor, last month, on Monday I think it was, she walked away and I thought my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you remember it?
Why, I do.
I say this to Judge Haythorne, and he asked her so. Goody Osborne, says he, what curse may you mumble that this girl must fall sick after turning you away? And she replied, why, your excellence, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
And that's an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Haythorne asked her, recite for us your commandments. And of all 10, she did not know a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her?
Why, they must when she condemned herself.
But the proof.
I told you the proof. It's hard proof, hard as rock, the judges said.
You will not go to court again, Mary Warren?
I must tell you, sir, I'll be gone every day for some time now. I'm amazed you do not see what weighty work we do.
What work you do? It is strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But they will not hang if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail sometime. And here's a wonder for you. Think on this. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her, and she's full to the brim. And smoking a pipe all these years, and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God, for they will not hurt the innocent child. But be that not a marvel? It's God's work we do, so I must tell you, sir, I'll be gone every day now. I'm an official member of the court, they say.
I'll official you.
I'll not stand whipping no more.
Now, Mary, promise now you'll stay at home.
The devil's loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor. We must discover where he
I'll whip the devil out of you.
I saved her life today. I am accused. For what mention? But I said I never saw no sign you ever sent your spirit out to hurt no one. And seeing as I do live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I'm bound by law. I cannot tell it. I only hope you'll not be so sarcastical no more. judges and the king's deputy sat to dinner with us but an hour ago. I'll have you speak civilly to me from this out.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I'm 18 and a woman, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Good night, then.
Good night. Oh, the news. The noose is up.
There'll be no news.
She wants me dead, John. I knew always it would come to this.
They dismissed it, you heard her say.
And not of tomorrow. She'll cry me out until he take me.
Sit you down.
She wants me dead, John, you know.
I say sit you down, Elizabeth. Now, see, we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
Fear nothing. I'll go to Ezekiel Cheever. I'll tell him she said it were only sports.
John, with many in the jail, more than Cheever's help is needed now, I think. Would you favour me with this? Go to Abigail.
And what have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this. You have a faulty understanding of young girls. There's a promise made in any
What
bed.
promise?
Spoke or silent, a promise is surely made. And she may dote on it now. I'm sure she does. And thinks to kill me and take my place. It is her dearest hope, John, I know it. There be 1,000 names. Why does she call mine? There be a danger in calling such a name. I'm no goody-good who sleeps in ditches, nor goody Osborne drunk and half-witted. She dare not call such a farmer's wife, but there be monstrous profit in it. She thinks to take my place, John.
She cannot think so.
John, have you ever shown her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in the church, but you will blush.
I may blush for my sin.
I think she sees another meaning in that blush.
And what see you? What see you, Elizabeth?
I think you'd be somewhat ashamed, for I am there and she's so close.
When will you know me, woman? Were I stoned, I would have cracked for shame this 7 month.
Then you must go and tell her she is a whore. Whatever promise she may sense, break it, John. Break it.
Good then. I'll go.
Oh, how unwillingly!
I will curse her hotter than the oldest cinder in hell. But pray begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger? I only
Woman,
ask...
am I so base? Do you truly think me base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge me with such a promise? A promise a stallion gives a mare I gave that girl.
Then why do you anger with me when I bid you break it?
Because it speaks deceit and I am honest. But I'll plead no more. I see now your spirit twists around the single error of my life, and I'll never tear it free.
You'll tear it free when you come to know that I'll be your only wife or no wife at all. She has an arrow in you yet, John Proctor, and you know it well.
Good evening.
Why, Mr. Hale, good evening to you, sir. Come in, come in.
I hope I do not startle you.
No, no. It's only that I heard no horse.
You are Goodwife Proctor.
I, Elizabeth.
I hope you're not off to bed yet.
No, no, it's just we are not used to visitors after dark. But you're welcome here, sir. Will you sit?
I will. Let you sit, Goodwife Proctor.
Will you drink cider, Mr. Hale?
No, it rebels my stomach. I have some further travel yet tonight. Sit you down, sir. I shall not keep you long, but I have some business with you.
Business of the court?
No, no, I come of my own, without the court's authority. Hear me, I know not if you're aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
We are aware. Our Mary Warren told us. We're entirely amazed.
I am a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance I find it hard to draw a clear opinion of those who stand accused before the court. So this afternoon and now tonight I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's house.
Rebecca's charged?
God forbid such a one be charged. She is, however, mentioned somewhat.
You cannot believe, I hope, that Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
It is possible, woman.
You cannot think so.
These are strange times, mister. No man may longer deny the power of dark is gathered in monstrous attack upon this village. There's too much evidence now to doubt it. Will you agree?
I have no knowledge in that line. It's hard to believe so pious a woman can be the devil's bitch after 70 years of good prayer.
Aye, devil is a wily one. However, she is far from charged, and I know she will not be. I thought, sir, to put his question to the Christian characters of this house, if you'll permit me.
We have no fear of questions here.
Good then. In the book of record that Mr. Parrish keeps, I note that you're rarely in church on the Sabbath day.
No, sir, you are mistaken.
26th time in 17th month, sir, I must call that rare. Will you tell me why you're so absent?
Mr. Hale, I never knew I had to account to that man for whether I go to church or stay at home. My wife fell sick this winter.
So I am told. But you, mister, why could you not come alone?
I surely did come when I could, and when I could not, I prayed in this house.
Mr. Proctor, your house is not a church. Your theology must tell you that.
It does, sir, it does. And it also tells me a minister may pray to God and that he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlesticks?
Since we built the church, we had pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nurse made them, you know, and not a sweeter hand did touch the metal. But Paris came, and for his first 20 weeks he preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. I lived the earth from dawn of day to blink of night, And I tell you true, when I look to heaven and I see my money glaring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer. Sir, it hurt my prayer. I think the man dreams cathedrals, not clapboard meeting houses.
And yet, mister, a Christian on the Sabbath day must be in church. Tell me, you have 3 children.
Aye, boys.
How comes that only 2 are baptized?
I like it now that Mr. Parrish has laid his hand on my baby. I see no light of God in that man. I'll not conceal it.
I must say it, mister, but that is not for you to decide. The man's ordained, therefore the light of God is in him.
What's your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
I have no...
I nailed the roof on that church. I hung the door.
Oh, did you? That's a good sign, then.
Perhaps I've been too quick to bring the man to book. But we do not desire the destruction of religion here. I think that's on your mind, is it not?
There is a softness in your record, sir, a softness.
I think maybe we have been too hard on Mr. Paris. I think so, but sure we have never loved the devil here.
Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
I surely do. There be no mark of blame upon my life, Mr. Hale. I am a covenanted Christian woman.
And you, mister?
I'm sure that I do, yes.
Let you repeat them for me, if you will.
The commandments?
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not use the Lord's name in vain. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Thou must honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not bear false witness, nor make unto thee any graven image.
You have said that twice, sir.
Aye.
Adultery, John.
Aye. You see, sir, between the two of us, we know them well. I think it is a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted
There
small.
be no love for Satan in this house, sir.
I pray it. I pray it dearly. Well then, I bid you good night.
Mr. Hale, I do think that you may be suspecting me somewhat. Are you not?
I do not judge you, Goody Proctor. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I pray you both good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
I think you must tell him, John.
What's that?
Will you tell him?
I have no proof, and no witness except my word be taken. But I know the girl's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft.
Not to do.
Mr. Parrish saw them sporting in the woods. They were startled and took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail.
Aye.
Abigail Williams told you it had naught to do with witchcraft.
She told me it the day you came, sir.
Why did you keep this?
I had no knowledge the world had gone daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense! I myself have examined Tituba, Sarah Good, and numerous others who have confessed themselves to witchcraft. They have confessed it.
And if they're to hang for denying it, there are them that will swear to anything before they're hanged. Did you not think that, Mr. Hale?
I have indeed. And you, will you testify that in court?
I had not reckoned with going to court, but if I must, I will.
Do you falter here?
I falter nothing. I only wonder if my story be credited in such a court. It is strange times when such a steady-minded minister as you will suspicion a woman who has never lied and cannot, and the world knows she cannot. I may falter somewhat, but mister, I am no fool.
Proctor, let you open with me now, for I have had rumor that troubles me. It is said you hold no belief that there may even be witches in the world. Is that true?
I know not what I have said. I may have said it. I believe there are witches, although I do not believe they come among us now.
Then you do not believe
I believe in the witches. They speak of them in the Bible. I'll not deny them.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe it.
You cannot!
Elizabeth, you bewilder him.
I cannot believe that the devil may own a woman's soul, Mr. Hale, when they have kept an upright way as I have. I am a good woman, and I know it. And if you think that I may only do good work in this world, and yet be secretly bound to Satan, then I must tell you, sir, I do not believe it.
But you do believe there are witches.
If you think that I am one, then I say there are none.
You surely do not fly against the gospel.
She believes in the gospel, every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not myself.
She does not need to doubt the gospel. This is a Christian house, sir, a Christian house.
God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized and go you without fail each Sunday into Sabbath prayer. Keep a quiet, solemn way among
John!
Giles, what's the matter?
They take my wife, and here's Rebecca.
Rebecca's in the jail.
Aye. Chief came and take her in his wagon. We wrote an outcome for the jail, and they'll not even let us to see them.
They've surely gone wild now, Mr. Hale.
Reverend Hale, can you not speak to the deputy governor? I'm sure he mistakes these people.
Pray calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very brick and mortar of the church, Mr. Hale. And Martha Curry. There could not be a woman closer yet to God than Martha.
How is Rebecca charged, Mr. Nurse?
For murder she's charged. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putney's babies. What am I to do, Mr. Hale?
Mr. Nurse, if Rebecca Nurse be tainted, there's nothing to stop the whole green world from burning. Let you rest upon the justice of the court. They will send her home, I know it.
You cannot make she be tried in court.
Though our hearts break, we cannot flinch. These are new times, sir. There is a misty plot afoot so subtle that we should be criminal to cling to old respects and ancient friendships. I've seen too many frightful proofs in court. The devil is alive in Salem, and we dare not quail to follow where the accusing finger points.
How may such a woman murder children?
Man, remember, an hour till the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said you were reading books.
Exactly what complaints were made on your wife, Mr. Corey?
That bloody mongrel Walcott charged her. You see, he bought a pig off my wife about 4 or 5 years ago, and the pig died soon after. So he come dancing in for his money back. And my Martha says to him, Walcott, if you haven't the wits to feed a pig properly, you're not owned to live many, she says. So he goes to the court and claims from that day to this, he cannot keep a pig alive for more than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitched him with her books.
Good evening to you, Proctor.
Why, Mr. Cheever, good evening.
Good evening all. Good evening, Mr. Hale.
I hope you do not come on business of the court.
I do, Proctor. I am clerk of the court now, you know.
It's a pity, Ezekiel, that an honest tailor might have gone to heaven must burn in hell. You'll burn for this, do you know it?
You know yourself, I must do as I'm told. You surely know that, Giles. And out as leaf, you're not sending me to hell. I like not the sound of it, I tell you. I like not the sound of it. Now, believe me, Proctor, how heavy be the law and all its tonnage I do carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife.
You said she were not charged.
I know nothing of it. When was she charged?
I'm given 16 warrant tonight, sir, and she is one.
Who charged her?
Why, Abigail Williams charged her.
On what proof? What proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time. The court bid me search your house, but I like not to search a house. So will you hand me any pockets your wife may keep here?
I have kept no pockets, not since I were a girl.
I spy a pocket, goody Proctor.
Oh! Why, this is Mary's.
Would you please to give it to me?
Has the court discovered a text in pockets now?
Do you keep any others in this house?
No, nor this one either till tonight. What signifies a poppet?
Why? A poppet may signify that. Now, woman, would you please to come with me?
She will not. Fetch Mary here.
No, I forbid to leave her from my sight.
You will leave her out of sight and out of mind.
What signifies a poppet, Mr. Cheever?
Why, they say it may signify that she... Yes.
What's there?
It is a needle, Herrick. Herrick, it is a needle.
What signifies a needle?
Why, this go hard with her, Proctor. This... I had my doubts, Proctor. I had my doubts by his calamity. You see, it is a needle.
Why, what means this?
The girl. The Williams girl. Abigail Williams, sir. She sat to dinner tonight at Reverend Parris's house. And without word nor warning, she falls to the floor like a struck beast, he says. And screamed a scream that a bull would weep to hear. And he goes to save her. And stuck 2 inches in the flesh of her belly, he draw a needle out. And demanding of her how she came to be so stabbed, she testified it were your wife's familiar spirit pushed it to me.
She done it herself! Surely you cannot be taking this for proof, Mr. Hale.
Tis hard proof. I find there a poppet Goody Proctor keeps. I have found it, sir. And in the belly of the poppet a needle stuck, I tell you true, Proctor. I never wanted to see such proof of hell. And I bid you, obstruct me not, for I...
Here now. Mary, tell them how this poppet came into our house.
What puppet's that, sir?
This poppet! This poppet!
Why, I believe it is mine.
Do you have it?
Mary Warren, a needle was found stuck inside this poppet.
I meant no harm by...
You stuck that needle in yourself?
I believe I did, yes,
And
sir.
what say you now?
Child, are you sure this be your natural memory? Could it be someone conjures you even now to say this?
Conjures me? Why, I'm entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing in court. Ask Abby. Abby sat beside me when I made it.
Bid him out, Mr. Hale. Your mind is surely settled. Bid them gone.
What signifies a needle?
Mary, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charge no.
Abigail was stabbed tonight. A needle was found stuck in her belly.
And she charges me.
Aye.
What? The girl is murder! She must be ripped
sworn, Harry, you've had it!
Out with you!
Proctor, you dare not touch the warrant!
Out with you!
You've ripped the deputy governor's warrant, man!
Down the deputy governor! Out of my house!
Proctor!
Get ye gone with them. You are a broken minister.
Proctor, if she's innocent, the court...
If she is innocent, why do we never question if Paris be innocent, or Abigail? Are the accusers always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were in Salem, but now the crazy little children are jangling their keys to the kingdom, and common vengeance writes the law. This warrants vengeance, and I'll not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
You will not go.
I have 9 men outside. You cannot keep her. The Lord binds me, John.
You will see her taken.
Proctor, the court is judged.
Pontius Pilate, God will not let you wash your hands of this.
John, I think I must go with them. Mary, there's bread enough for the morning, and you will bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor as you were his daughter. You owe me that and much more. When the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft. It will frighten them.
I will bring you soon. I will bring you home soon.
Oh, John, bring me soon.
I will fall like an ocean on that court. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
I will fear nothing. Tell the children I have gone to visit someone sick.
Herrick! Herrick, off with those chains! Off with them, man! I'll not have your chain, man! I'll not have it!
And yet silent, minister? It's fraud. You know it's fraud. What keeps you, man?
I'll pay you, Herrick! I will surely pay you!
By the God's name, John. I cannot help myself. I must chain them all. Now let you keep inside this house till I'm gone.
Mr. Proctor.
Out with you.
Charity, Proctor, charity. What I've heard in her favor, I will not fear to testify in the court. I cannot judge her guilty or innocent. I know not. Only this consider. The world goes mad, and it profit nothing you should lay the cause to the vengeance of a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
Proctor, I cannot think God be provoked so grandly by such a petty cause. The jail's a pact. The greatest judges sit in Salem now, the hanging's promised. Man, we must look to cause proportionate. Were there murder done, perhaps, and never brought to light? Abomination. Some secret blasphemy that stinks to heaven. Man, we must look on cause, and let you help me discover it. For that is your only way. Believe it, that is your only way when such confusion strikes upon the world. Let you counsel among yourselves. Think on the village and what you may have done to bring such thundering wrath upon you all. I pray God open up our eyes.
I never heard of no murder done in Salem.
Leave me, Francis, leave me.
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home now, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Aye. We'll come early, eh? Let you think on it.
Aye. Good night.
Good night, then.
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home once they're given proper evidence.
You are coming with me to court, Mary Warren. You will tell the court what you know.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell the court what you know. You will tell them how this poppet come into our house.
She'll kill me for telling it. Abby will charge lechery on you, Mr. Proctor.
She's told you?
I have known it. And she'll ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good. Then her saintliness is done with. Together we'll slide into our pit and you will tell the court what you know.
I cannot do it. They'll
My
tear it
wife
up.
will not die for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth. My wife will not die for me.
I cannot do it. I cannot.
Make your peace. Now Helen have her grapple our backs. All our own pretense is ripped away. Make your peace. Peace. It is a providence and no great change. We are what we always were, but naked now. I, naked. And God's wind, God's icy wind will blow.
Now, mark the court. There is abundant evidence in our hands to show that you have given yourself to the
You cannot go in there, Giles. It's a court.
Pray be calm a moment.
You, Mr. Hale, go in there and demand I speak.
A moment, sir, a moment.
They'd be hanging my wife!
How do you dare come on into this court? Are you got daft, Corey?
You're not a Boston judge yet, Haythorne. You'll not call me dead.
Who is this man?
Giles Corey, sir, the more contempt.
I'm asked the question. And I'm old enough to answer it. My name is Corey, sir. Giles Corey. I have 600 acres and timber in addition. Be my wife you condemn it now.
And how do you imagine to help her with such contemptuous right? Now be gone. Your old age alone keeps you from jail for this.
But they be telling lies about my wife, sir.
Do you take it upon yourself to determine what this court shall believe and what it shall set aside?
We mean no disrespect to you.
Disrespect indeed. It is disruption, mister. This is the highest court of the most supreme government of this province. Do you know it?
I only said you were reading books, sir. And then they come and take it out of my house
Books?
for it?
What book?
It is my third wife, sir! I've never had no wife to be so taken with books. And I thought to find the cause of it, D.C. But it were no witch I blame for her. I broke charity with the woman. I broke charity with her.
Excellency, he claims hard evidence for his wife's defense. I think in all justice you
Then
will...
let him submit his evidence in proper affidavit. You are certainly aware of our procedure here, Mr. Hale. Clear this room.
Come, Giles. We are desperate, sir. We come 3 days now and cannot be heard.
Who is this man?
Francis Nurse, Your Excellency.
His wife Rebecca, they were condemned this morning.
Indeed. I am surprised to find you in such uproar. I have only good report of your character, Mr. Nurse.
I think they must both be arrested in contempt, sir.
Let you submit your plea in due
We
time.
have proof for your eyes, sir. God forbid you shut them to it. The girls, sir, the girls are frauds.
What's that?
We have proof of it, sir. They're all deceiving you.
This is contempt, sir, contempt!
Peace, Judge Haythorne. Do you know who I am, Mr. Nurse?
I surely do, sir. You must be a wise judge to be what you are.
And do you know that near 400 are in the jails for Marblehead to live upon my signature?
Well,
And 72 condemned to hang by that signature.
Excellency, I never thought to say such a weighty judge, but you are deceived.
Mary, Warren, what are you about here?
She will speak with the deputy governor.
Did you not tell me Mary Warren was sick in bed?
She were, Your Honor. When I go to fetch her to court last week, she said she was sick.
She's been striving in her soul all week, Your Honor. She comes now to tell the truth to you.
Who is this?
John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware this man, Your Excellency. This man is mischief.
I think you must hear the girl, sir. She...
Peace! What would you tell us, Mary Warren?
She never saw no spirits, sir.
Never saw no spirits.
Never.
She has signed a deposition, sir.
No, I accept no depositions. Tell me, Mr. Proctor, have you given this story out in the village?
We have not.
They've come to overthrow this court, sir, and
I
this
pray
man
you, Mr. Paris. Now, Mr. Proctor, do you know that the entire contention of the state in these trials is that the voice of heaven is speaking through the children?
I know that, sir.
And you, Mary Warren, how come you to cry out people for sending their spirits out against you?
It were pretense, sir.
I cannot hear you.
It were pretend, she says.
Ah. And the other girls, Susanna Walcott and the others, they are also pretending.
I, sir?
Indeed.
Excellency, you surely cannot think to let so vile a lie be spread in open court.
Indeed not, but it strikes hard upon me that you dare come here with such a tale. Now, Mr. Proctor, before I decide whether I shall hear you or not, it is my duty to tell you this, sir. We burn a hot fire here. It melts away all concealment.
I know that, sir.
Let me continue. I understand well a husband's tenderness may drive him to extravagance in defense of a wife. Are you certain in your conscience that your evidence is the truth?
It is, and you will surely know it.
And you thought to declare this revelation in the open court in the view of the public?
I thought I would. Aye.
Now, sir.
With your permission.
Now, sir. What was your purpose in so doing?
Why, I'd save my wife, sir.
There lurks nowhere in your heart nor hidden in your spirit any desire to undermine this court.
Why, no, sir.
Aye, Excellency.
Mr. Cheever?
I think it be my duty, sir, and you're not denying John. When we come to take his wife, he damned the court and ripped your warrant.
Now you have it.
He did that, Mr. Hale?
I did.
It were a temper, sir. I knew not what I did.
Mr. Proctor?
Aye, sir?
Have you ever seen the devil?
No, sir.
You are in all respects a gospel Christian.
Aye, sir.
Such a Christian that will not come to church but once in a month.
Not come to church.
I have no love for Mr. Paris. It is no secret, but God I surely love.
He plow on Sunday, sir.
Plow on Sunday?
I think it be evidence, John. I'm an official of the court. I cannot keep it.
I have once or twice plowed on Sunday. But I have 3 children, sir, and until last year my land gave very little.
You'll find other Christians that do plow on the Sunday, if the truth be known.
Your Honor, I cannot think you may judge the man on such evidence.
I judge nothing. I tell you straight, mister, I have seen marvels in this court. I've seen people choked before my eyes by spirits. I've seen people stuck by pins and slashed by daggers. I have until this moment not the slightest reason to suspect that the girls may be deceiving me. Do you understand me?
Excellency, does it not strike upon you that so many of these women lived for so long with such upright reputation and...
Do you read the Gospel, Mr. Proctor?
I read the Gospel.
I think not. Or you should surely know that Cain were an upright man, and yet he did kill Abel.
Aye. God tells us that. But who tells that Rebecca Nurse murdered 7 babies by sending a spirit out on them? It is the children only, and this one will swear she lied to you.
Aye, she's the one.
Mr. Proctor, this morning your wife sang claim that says she is pregnant now.
My wife pregnant?
She shows no sign of it. We have examined her body.
Well, if she says she's pregnant, then she must be. That woman would never lie, Mr. Danforth.
She would not?
Never, sir, never.
We thought it too convenient to be credited. However, if I shall say to you now that I will let her be kept another month, and if she begins to show her natural signs, you shall have her living yet another year until she is delivered. What say you to that? Come now. You say your only purpose is to save your wife. Good. Then she is saved at least this year, and a year is long. What say you, sir? It is done now. Will you drop this charge?
I think I cannot.
Then your purpose is somewhat larger.
He's coming to overthrow the court, Your Honor.
These are my friends, sir. Their wives
I
are
judge
also
you not,
accused.
sir. I am ready to hear your evidence.
I come not to hurt the court. I only...
Marshal, go into the court and bid Judge Stout and Judge Sewell declare a recess for 1 hour. And let them go to the tavern if they will. All witnesses and prisoners are to be kept in the building.
Aye, sir. If I may say it, sir, I know this man all my life. It is a good man, sir.
I am sure of it, Marshal. Now, what deposition do you have for us, Mr. Proctor? And I beg you, be clear, open as the sky, and honest.
I'm no lawyer, so
The pure in heart need no lawyers. Proceed as you will.
Will you read this first, sir? It's a sort of testament. The people sign it, declare their good opinion of Rebecca and my wife, Martha Corey.
Their good opinion.
These are landholding farmers, members of the church. I ask you notice, sir, they've known the women many years and never saw no sign they had dealings with the devil.
How many names are on this list?
91, Your Excellency.
These people should be summoned for questioning.
Mr. Danforth, I gave these people my word. No harm will come to them for signing this.
This is a clear attack upon the court.
Is every defense an attack upon the court? Can no one...
All innocent and Christian people are happy for the courts here in Salem. These people are gloomy for it, and I think you will want to know from each and every one of them what discontents them with you.
I think they must be summoned, sir.
It is not necessarily an attack, I think, yet.
These are all covenanted Christians, sir.
Then I'm sure you have nothing to fear. Mr. Cheever, have warrants running for all of these. Arrest for examination. Now, what other evidence do you have for us, Mr. Proctor? You may sit, Mr. Nurse.
I've brought trouble on these people. I have...
No, old man. You have not hurt these people if they are of good conscience. But you must understand me, sir. A person is either with this court, or he must be counted against it. There will be no road between. This is a sharp time now, a precise time. We live no longer in the dusky afternoon when evil mixed itself with good and befuddled the world. Now, by God's grace, the shining sun is up, and them that fear not light will surely praise it. I hope you'll be one of those. She's not hardy, I see.
No, sir, she's not. Now remember the angel Raphael. What he says to the boy Tobias. Do that which is good, and no harm shall come to thee.
Come, man, we wait you.
John, my deposition. Give him mine.
Right. This is Mr. Corey's deposition.
Oh?
What lawyer drew this, Corey?
You know I never had a lawyer in my life, Haythorne.
It is very well phrased. My compliments.
Mr. Paris. If Mr. Putnam is in the court, then you bring him in. You've had no legal training, Mr. Corey.
I have the best, sir. I'm 33 times in court in my life, and always played it too.
Oh, then you're much put upon.
I'm never put upon. I know my rights, sir, and I will have them. Your father tried a case of mine. Must have been about 35 years ago.
Indeed?
You never spoke to you of it?
No, I cannot recall.
That's strange. He gave me £9 damages. He were a fair judge, your father. You see, I had a white man at the time, and a fellow come to borrow. Ah, there he is.
Mr. Putnam, I have here an accusation from Mr. Corey against you. He states that you coldly prompted your daughter to cry victory upon George Jacobs, who is now in jail.
That is a lie.
Mr. Putnam states you're charged a lie. What say you to that?
A fraud on Thomas Putnam. That's what I say to that.
What proof do you submit for your charge, sir?
The proof is there. If Jacobs hangs for a witch, he forfeit up his property. That's law. And there's none but Putnam, with a coin so great to buy a piece. This man is killing his neighbors for land.
But proof, sir, proof.
My proof is there. I heard it from an honest man who heard him say it. The day his daughter cried out witchcraft, he said that she'd given him a fair gift of land.
And the name of this man?
What name?
The man that gave you this information.
I cannot give you his name.
And why
You
not?
know well why not. He will lay in jail if I give you his name.
This is contempt of the court, Mr. Danforth.
You will surely give us the name.
I cannot give you his name. I gave you my wife's name, and I'll burn in hell long enough for that. I stand mute.
In that case, I have no choice but to arrest you in contempt of this court. Do you know that?
This is a hearing. You cannot clap me for contempt of a hearing.
Oh, it is a proper lawyer. Do you wish me to declare this court in full session, or will you give me good reply?
I cannot give you his name, sir. I cannot.
You are a foolish old man. Mr. Cheever, begin the record. This court is now in session. Mr. Corey, I ask...
He has a soaring confidence, sir, and he...
The devil lives on such confidences. Without confidences, there could be no conspiracy, Your Honor.
I think it must be broken, sir.
Old man, if your informant tells the truth, let him come here openly, like a decent man. If he hides in anonymity, I must know why. Now, sir, the government and Central Church demand of you the name of the man who reported Mr. Thomas Putnam a common murderer.
Excellency.
Mr. Hale.
We cannot blink it more. There is a prodigious fear of this court in the country.
There is a prodigious guilt in the country. Are you afraid to be questioned here?
I may only fear the Lord, sir, but there is fear in the country nevertheless.
Reproach me not with fear in the country. There is fear in the country because there is a moving plot to topple Christ in the country.
But it does not follow that everyone accused is a part of it.
No uncorrupted man may fear this court, Mr. Hale. None. You are under arrest and contempt of this court. Now sit you down and take counsel with yourself, or you will be set in jail until you decide to answer all questions.
I'll cut your throat, Putnam! I'll kill you yet!
Peace down!
Peace! Say nothing more, John! He's only playing you. He means to hang us all!
This is a court of law, mister. I'll have no authority here.
Forgive him, sir, for his old age. Peace, Giles. We'll prove it all now. You cannot weep, Mary. Remember the angel Raphael. Hold to it now. There is your rock. Here's Mary Warren's deposition. I ask you remember, sir, when you read it, that until 2 weeks ago she was no different than the other children are today. You saw her scream. She howled. She swore familiar spirits choked her. She even testified that Satan, in the form of a woman now in jail, tried to win her soul away, and she refused.
We know all this.
Aye, sir. She swears now that she never saw Satan, nor any spirit vague or clear that Satan may have sent to hurt her, and she declares her friends are lying now.
Excellency, a moment. I think this goes to the heart of the matter.
It surely does.
I cannot say he is an honest man. I know him little. But no justice, sir. A claim so weighty cannot be argued by a farmer. I pray you, send him home and let him come again with a lawyer.
Now look you, Mr. Hale.
Excellency, I have signed 72 death warrants. I am a minister of the Lord, and I dare not take a life without there be a
proof so immaculate, no slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Mr. Hale, you surely do not doubt my justice.
I have this morning signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurse, Your Honor. I'll not conceal it. My hand shakes yet as with a wound. I pray you, this argument let lawyers present to you.
Mr. Hale, believe me, for a man of such terrible learning, you are most bewildered. I hope you will forgive me. I have been 32 years at the bar, sir, and I would be confounded were I called upon to defend these people. Let you consider now, and I bid you all do likewise. In an ordinary crime, how does one defend the accused? One calls up witnesses to prove his innocence. But witchcraft is ipso facto on its face, and by its nature an invisible crime, is it not? Therefore, who may possibly be witness to it? The witch and her victims, none other. Now, we can't hope for the witch to accuse herself, granted. Therefore, we must rely upon her victims. And they do testify. The children certainly do testify. As for the witches, none can deny that we are all most eager for their confessions. With that said, what is left for a lawyer to bring out? I think I have made my point, have I not?
But this child scammed the girl are not truthful, and if they're not, we...
That is precisely what I'm about to consider, Mr. Hale. What more are you asking me, unless you doubt my probity?
I surely do not, sir. Let you consider it then.
And let you put your heart to rest. Her deposition, Mr. Proctor.
I should like to question...
Mr. Paris! I bid you be silent! Mr. Cheever, will you go into the court and bring the children in? How come this turnabout, Mary Warren? Has Mr. Proctor threatened you with his deposition?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Has he threatened you?
No, sir.
Then you tell me. You said in my court, carelessly lying, when you knew others would hang by your evidence. Answer me.
I did, sir.
How were you instructed in life, child? Do you not know that God damns all liars? Or is it now that you lie?
No, sir. I am with God now.
You are with God now.
Aye, sir.
I will tell you this. You are either lying now, or you were lying in the court. And in either case, you have committed perjury. And you will go to jail for it. You cannot lightly say you lied, Mary. Do you know that?
I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God.
Ruth Putnam's not in the court, sir, nor the other children.
These will be sufficient. Sit you down, children. We have here a deposition from your friend, Mary Warren. She swears that she never saw no familiar spirits, apparition, or any manifest of devil. She claims as well that none of you have seen these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law. A law based upon the Bible written by Almighty God, forbids the practice of witchcraft, and describes death as the penalty thereof. But likewise, children, the law and Bible damns all bearers of false witness. Now, it does not escape me that this deposition may well be sent to blind us. It may well be that Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan. If that is so, her neck will break for it. But if she speak true, I bid you now, drop your guile and confess your pretense, for a quick confession will go easier with you. Abigail Williams, rise. Is there any truth in this?
No, sir.
Now, children, a very augur bit we turned into your souls until your honesty is proved. Will either of you change position now, or do you force me to hard questioning?
I have not changed, sir. She lies.
You would still go on with this?
Aye, sir.
A puppet will just go to Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle. Mary Warren claims that you sat beside her in the court while she made it, and you saw her make it, and witnessed how she herself stuck a needle in it for safekeeping. What say you to that?
It is a lie, sir.
While you were with Mr. Proctor, did you see any puppets in that house?
Goody Proctor always kept puppets.
Your Honor, my wife never kept no puppets. Mary Warren swears it was her puppet.
Your Excellency, Mr. Cheever, when I spoke with Goody Proctor in that house, she said she never kept no puppets. But she said she kept puppets when she were a girl.
She's not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor.
A puppet will keep 15 years, will it not?
It will keep if it is kept. But Mary Warren swears she never saw no puppets in my house, nor anyone else.
Why could there not have been puppets hid where no one ever saw them?
There might also be a dragon with 5 legs in my house, but no one has ever seen it.
We are here, Your Honor, precisely to discover what no one has ever seen.
Your Honor, what profit this girl turn herself without? What may Mary Warren gain but hard questioning and worse?
You are charging Abigail Williams with a marvelous cool plot to murder. Do you know that?
I believe she means to murder.
This child would murder your wife.
It is not a child. Now hear me, sir, inside the congregation, she would twice this year put out this meeting house for laughter during prayer.
What's this? Laughter during...
Excellency, she were under Tituba's power at that time, but she is solemn now.
Now she is solemn and goes to hang people.
Quiet, man!
Surely this hath no bearing on the question. He charges contemplation of murder.
Aye. Continue, Mr. Proctor.
Mary, I'll tell the governor how you danced in the woods.
Excellency, since I come sound, this man's...
In a moment, sir! Now what's this dancing?
Mr. Proctor?
Abigail leads the girls to the woods, Your Honor, and they've danced there naked.
Your Honor, this...
Mr. Paris discovered them there himself in the dead of night. That's the child she is.
Mr. Paris!
I can only say, sir, that I never found any of them naked, and this
But you
man is...
discovered them dancing in the woods. Abigail!
Excellency, when I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris told me that.
Do you deny, Mr. Paris?
I do not, sir, but I never saw any of them naked.
But she had danced!
Aye, sir.
Excellency, will you permit me?
Pray, proceed.
You say you never saw no spirits, Mary. Were never threatened or afflicted by any manifest of the devil or the devil's agents.
No, sir.
And yet, when those accused of witchery confronted you in court, you would faint, saying their spirits came out of their bodies and choked you.
It were pretense, sir.
I cannot hear you.
Pretense, sir.
But you did turn cold, did you not? I myself picked you up many times in your skin where I see Mr. Danforth.
I saw that many times.
She only pretended to faint, Your Honor. They're all marvelous pretenders.
Then can she pretend to faint now?
Now?
Why not? Now there are no spirits attacking her, for none in this room is accused of witchcraft. So let her turn herself cold now. Let her pretend she is attacked now. Let her faint.
Faint!
Faint!
Aye, faint. And prove to us how you pretended in the court so many times.
I cannot faint now, sir.
Can you not pretend it?
I have no sense of it now.
Why? What is lacking now?
I cannot tell, sir.
Could it be that there were afflicting spirits loose in the court, but there are none here?
I never saw no spirits.
Then see no spirits now, and prove to us you can faint by your own will as you claim.
I cannot do it!
Then you will confess, will you not? It were attacking spirits made you faint.
No, sir,
This is a clear trick upon the court.
It is not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw them?
But I did not, Your Honor.
How can you think you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell how, but I did. I heard the girls screaming, and you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe them, and it were only sport in the beginning, sir, but then the whole world cried, spirits, spirits, and I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw spirits, but I did not.
Surely your Excellency is not taken by this simple lie.
Abigail, I bid you now, search your heart and tell me this, and beware of a child. To God every soul is precious, and his vengeance is terrible on them that take life without cause. Is it possible, child, that these spirits you have seen are illusion only, some deception that may crush your mind?
Why, this is a base question, sir.
I would have you consider it,
I
child.
have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I have seen my blood running out. I have been near to murdered every day for doing my duty, pointing out the devil's people. And this is my reward? To be mistrusted, denied, questioned,
Child!
pretending.
She is cold, Your Honor. Touch her.
Mary, do you send this shadow of me? Oh, Lord, save me.
I freeze. It is a wind. Abby, don't do that.
Mary Lawrence, you witcher! I say to you, you send your spirit out!
Let me go, Mr. Parker, let me go! I cannot!
Oh, Heavenly Father, take away this shadow!
How do you call him? Paul! John! Man, what is the hole? You charge?
Mr. Danforth, he's lying!
Martha! She'll suck a scream to stab me with. You will prove this! This will not pass! I have known her, sir! I have known her! You are a lecher?
John, you cannot say such a thing.
Oh, Francis, I wish you had some evil in you that you might know me. A man will not cast away his good name, you surely know that.
In what time? In what place?
In the proper place, where my beasts are bedded. On the last night of my joy, some 8 months past, she used to work with me in my house, sir. A man may think that God sleeps. God sees everything. I know that now. I beg you, sir. I beg you, see her what she is. My wife. My dear, good wife took her soon after and put her out on the high road. And being what she is, a lump of vanity. Excellency, forgive me. She thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave. Well, she might, for I thought of her softly. God help me, I lusted, and there is a promise in such sweat, but it is a whore's vengeance, and I know you must see it now. I put myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now.
Do you deny every scrap and tittle of this?
If I must answer that, I will leave and I will not come back.
I have made a bell of my honor. I've rung the doom of my good name. You will believe me, Mr. Danforth. My wife is innocent. He said she knew a whore when she saw one.
What look do you give me? I will have no such look!
You will remain where you are! Mr. Paris, go into the court and bring Judge White Proctor out.
Your Honor, this is all.
Bring her out! And tell her not one word of what's been spoken here, and let you knock before you enter. Now we shall touch the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, is an honest woman.
In her life, she hath never lied. There are them that cannot sing, and them that cannot weep. My wife cannot lie, sir. I've paid much to learn it.
And when she put out this girl, she put her out for a harlot.
Aye, sir.
And she knew her for a harlot.
Aye. She knew of her.
Good then. And if she should say it were the harlotry child, may God spread his mercy on you. Halt! Turn your back. Turn your back! Do likewise. Now let neither one of you turn to face Goody Proctor. No one in this room is to raise a gesture or say a single word, aye or nay. Enter! Mr. Cheever, recall this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready, sir.
Come here, woman. You'll look at me, not at your husband, in my eyes only.
Good sir.
We're given to understand that at one time you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
That is true, sir.
For what cause did you dismiss her?
She dissatisfied me and my husband.
In what way dissatisfied you? Look at me! Or she slovenly? Lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
Your Honor, in that time I was sick, and my husband's a good and righteous man, sir. He has never drunk a summer, nor wasting his time at the shovel board, but always at his work. But in my sickness,
You see, sir, I was sick a long time after my last baby. And I thought I saw my husband somewhat turning from me. And this girl...
Woman! Look at me!
I, sir. Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
I came to think he fancied her. And so one night, I lost my wits, I think, and I put her out on the high road.
And your husband? Did he indeed turn from you?
My husband's a goodly man, sir.
Then he did not turn from you.
He...
Look at me! To your own knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer my question. Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Remove her, Marshal.
Elizabeth, tell the truth!
She has spoken. Remove her.
Elizabeth, I have confessed it!
She only thought to save my name.
Excellency, it is not all I can tell. I pray you stop now before another is condemned. I may shut my conscience to it no more. Private vengeance is working through this testimony. From the beginning, this man has struck me true. By my oath to heaven, I believe him now. I pray you, call back his wife before we...
She spoke nothing of lechery, and this man has lied!
I believe him! This girl has only struck me true!
You will not! Be good, I say!
What is it, child? What's there? Child! Girls, why do you?
It is on the beam, behind the rafters.
Where?
Why do you come, yellow bird?
Where's a bird? I see no bird.
My face?
Mr. Hay.
Be quiet!
Do you see a bird?
Be quiet!
But God made my face. You cannot want to tear my face. Envy is a deadly sin, Mary. Abby! Oh, Mary, it is a black art to change your shape. No, I cannot stop my mouth. It is God's work I do. Abby, I'm here.
They're pretending, Mr. Danforth.
Oh, Mary, please don't come down. Her claws. She's stretching her claws.
Why?
Mary, please don't hurt me. I'm not hurting her.
Why does they see this vision?
She sees nothing. She sees nothing.
Abby, you mustn't.
Abby, you mustn't. I'm here. I'm here.
Mary Warren, draw back your spirit from them.
Oh, Mr. Danforth. Mr. Danforth.
Have you made compact with the devil? Have you?
Never.
Why do they only repeat you?
Mary, God damns all liars.
They're sporting. They're sporting. Stop it, Abby. Stop it, Abby. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
A little while ago you were afflicted. Now it seems you afflict others. How did you find this power?
I have no power.
They're gulling you, mister. Why did you turn about these past 2 weeks? You have seen the devil, have you not?
You cannot believe them!
You have seen the devil. You have made compact with Lucifer, have you not?
God will damn you for this, Mary.
The wings! Her wings is spreading! Mary, please, don't!
What do you say? I cannot hear you. What do you say? You will hang if you do not confess. Do you know who I am? I say you'll hang your open with me.
Mary, remember the angel Raphael. Do that which is good and...
She's gonna come down! She's walking the beam!
Will you speak? Confess yourself! Will you speak?
I cannot!
Cast the devil out! Look him in the face, trample him. We'll save you, Mary. Only stand fast against him.
Look out! She's coming down!
Mary, now tell the governor...
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Mary!
You're the devil's man!
Praise God!
Praise God!
Mary, how?
No! I'll not hang with you. I love God. I love God.
He bids you do the devil's work.
He come at me by night and every day. To sign.
Sign what?
The devil's book. He come with the book.
My name. He wants my name. I'll murder you, he says. If my wife hangs, we must go and overthrow the court, he says.
Mr. Hale.
He wake me
eyes were like coals, and his fingers claw at my neck. And I sigh and I sigh.
Excellency, this time's gone wide.
Mary!
No!
Mary!
No! I love God. I go your way no more. I love God. I bless God. Abby, I'll never hurt you more.
What are you? You're combined with the Antichrist, are you not? I have seen your power. You will not deny it. What say you, mister?
Excellency.
I'll have nothing from you, Mr. Hale. Do you confess yourself befouled with hell, or do you keep that black allegiance yet? What say you?
I say, God is dead.
Hear it! Hear it! A fire is burning.
I hear the boot of Lucifer. I see his filthy face, and it is my face and your downfall for them that quail to bring men out of ignorance, as I have quailed, and as you quail now when you know in your black heart that this be fraud. God damns our kind especially, and we will burn. We will burn together!
Marshal, take him and Corey with him to the jail.
I denounce this proceeding.
You're pulling heaven down and raising up a hole.
I denounce this proceeding. I quit this court.
Mr. Hale! Mr. Hale!
Sarah? Wake up! Sarah, good?
Oh, Majesty! I'm coming. Tituba. He's here. His Majesty's come.
Go to the north cell. This place is wanted now.
But that don't look to me like His Majesty. Look to me like the Marshal.
Get along with you now. Clear this place.
Oh, is it you, Marshal? I thought sure you be the devil coming for us. Could I have a sip of cider for me, Bernadette?
And where are you off to, Sarah?
We're going to Barbados. Soon the devil gets here with the feathers and the wings.
Oh, a happy voyage to you.
A pair of bluebirds, winging suddenly. The two of us. Oh, it'd be a grand transformation, Marshal.
You'd best give me that, he'll never rise off the ground.
I'll speak to him for you, if you desires to come along, Marshal.
I'd not refuse you, Tituba. This is a proper morning to fly into hell.
Oh, it be no hell in Barbados. Devil him be pleasure man in Barbados. Him be singing and dancing in Barbados. It's you folks. You riles him up round here. It be too cold round here for that old boy. He frees his soul in Massachusetts, but in Barbados he just sweet dandy. Aye, sir, that's him!
I'm here, Majesty, I'm here.
Come along, come along.
No, he coming for me. I'm going home.
That's not Satan. Poor old cow with a hat full of milk. Now out with you!
Take me home, Devin! Take me home!
Talking, I'm going to Tituba. Now, you talking. Somebody is going to.
Take me home, Devin! Take me home!
Good morning, Excellency.
Where is Mr. Paris?
I'll fetch him.
Marshal, when did Reverend Hale arrive?
It were toward midnight, I think.
What is he about here?
He goes among them that will hang, sir, and prays with them. He sits with Goody Nurse now, and Mr. Paris with him.
Reverend Hale have no authority to enter here, Marshal. Why have you let him in?
Mr. Paris command me. I cannot deny him.
Are you drunk, Marshal?
No, sir. It is a bitter night, and I have no fire here.
Fetch Mr. Paris.
Aye, sir.
There's a prodigious stench in this place.
I have only now cleared out the people for you.
Beware hard drink, Marshal.
Aye, sir.
Let you question Hale, Excellency. I should not be surprised he have been preaching at Andover lately.
We'll come to that. Speak nothing of Andover. Mr. Paris prays with you. That's strange.
I think it not wise to let Mr. Paris so continuously with the prisoners. You have a strange look these days.
Strange?
I met him yesterday coming from his house. I bid him good morning, and he wept and went his way. I think it not well the village see him so unsteady.
Perhaps you have some sorrow.
I think it be the cows, sir.
Cows!
There be so many cows wandering the high roads, now their masters are in the jails, and much disagreement who they belong to now. I know Mr. Parrish be arguing with farmers all yesterday. There's great contention, sir, about the cows. Contention make him weep, sir. There were always a man that would weep for contention.
Oh, good morning, sir. Thank you for coming. I beg your pardon for waking me so early. Good morning, Judge Haythorne.
Reverend Hale, no right to...
Excellency, a moment.
Do you leave him alone with the prisoners?
What's his business here?
Excellency, hear me. It is a providence. Reverend Hale has returned to bring Rebecca Nurse to God.
He bids her confess.
Hear me. Rebecca have not given me word this 3 months since she came. Now she sits with him, and her sister, and Martha Corey, and 2 or 3 others, and he pleads with them, confess their crimes and save their lives.
Why, this is indeed a providence. And they soften.
Not yet, not yet. But I thought to summon you, sir, on whether we think it may not be wise to... I thought to put a question, sir, and I hope you will...
Mr. Parrish, be plain. What troubles you?
There is news, sir, that the court must reckon with. My niece, sir, my niece. I believe she has vanished.
Vanished?
I thought to inform you of it earlier in the week.
Why? How long is she gone?
This be the 3rd night. You see, sir, she told me she was staying out with Mercy Lewis, and next day, when she does not return, I sent to Mr. Lewis to inquire. Mercy told them she would sleep in my house for a night.
They are both gone.
They are, sir.
Where may they be? I will send a party.
Excellency, I think they be aboard a ship. My daughter tells me how she overheard them speaking of ships last week. And tonight I discovered my strongbox is broke into.
She have robbed you?
31 pounds is gone, I'm penniless.
You are a brainless man, Mr. Parrish.
Excellency, it profit nothing that you should blame me. I cannot think that they would run off except they fear to keep in Salem anymore. Mark it, sir. Abigail had close knowledge of the town, and since the news of Andover is broken
Andover is remedied. The court returned there on Friday to resume their examinations.
I am sure of it, sir, but the rumor here speaks of rebellion in Andover.
There is no rebellion in Andover.
I tell you what is said here, sir. Andover have thrown out the court, they say, and will have no part of witchcraft. There is a faction here, feeding on that news, and I tell you true, sir, I fear there will be riot here.
Riot? Why, at every execution I have seen naught but high satisfaction in the town.
Judge Haythorne, it were different sort that hanged till now. Rebecca Nurse is no Bridget that lived 3 years with the bishop before she married him. John Proctor is not Isaac Ward that drank his family to ruin. I would to God it were not so, Excellency, but these people have great weight yet in the town. Let Rebecca stand upon the gibbet and send up some righteous prayer, and I fear she'll wake up vengeance upon you.
She is condemned a witch. The court have...
Pray you. How do you propose?
Excellency, I would postpone these hangings for a time.
There will be no postponement.
Now Mr. Hale's return, there's hope, I think. For if he brings even one of these to God, that surely damns the others in the public eye, and none may doubt more that they are all linked to hell. This way, unconfessed and claiming innocence, doubt are multiplied. Many honest people will weep for them, and our good cause is lost in their tears.
Give me the list.
It cannot be forgot, sir, that when I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, hardly 30 people come to hear it. That speak of discontent, I think.
There will be no postponement.
Excellency!
Now, sir, which of these do you yet have hope for? I myself will strive with them until dawn.
There's not sufficient time till dawn.
I will do my utmost. Which of them do you have hope for?
Excellency,
what do you say?
Tonight, when I open my door to leave my house, a dagger clattered to the ground. You cannot hang this sword! There is danger for me. I dare not step outside at night.
Accept my congratulations, Reverend Hale. We are glad to see you return to your good work.
You must pardon them. They will not budge.
You misunderstand me, sir. I cannot pardon them when 12 already hanged for the same crime. It is not just.
Rebecca will not confess.
The sun will rise in a few minutes. Excellency, I must have more time.
Now hear me, and beguile yourselves no more. I will receive not one plea for pardon or postponement. Them that will not confess will hang. 12 are already executed. The names of these 7 are given out. The town expects to see them die this morning. Postponement now speaks of floundering on my part. And reprieve or pardon must cast doubt upon the guilt of them that died till now. While I speak God's law, I will not crack its voice with whimpering. If retaliation is your fear, know this. I should hang 10,000 that dared rise up against the law. An ocean of salt tears could not melt the resolution of the statutes. Now, draw yourselves up like men, and help me, as you're bound by heaven to do. Have you spoke with them all, Mr.
All
Mayor?
but Proctor, he's in the dungeon.
What is Proctor's way now?
He sits like some great bird. You'd not know he lived except he'll take fruit from time to time.
His wife. His wife must be well on with child by now.
She is, sir.
What do you think, Mr. Paris? You have close knowledge of this man. Will her presence soften him?
It is possible, sir. You have not laid eyes on her these 3 months. I should summon her.
Is he yet adamant? Has he struck at you again?
He cannot. He's chained to the wall now.
Bring Goody Proctor here, and then let you bring him up.
Oh, sir.
Excellency, if you postpone a week and publish to the town that you are striving for their confessions, it speaks mercy on your part, not faltering.
Mr. Hale, as God not empowered me like Joshua to stop the rising sun, so I cannot withhold from them the perfection of their punishment.
If you think God wills you to raise a rebellion, Mr. Danforth, you're mistaken.
You have heard rebellion spoken in the town.
Excellency, there are orphans wandering from house to house, abandoned cattle bellow on the high roads, the stink of rotting crops hangs everywhere, and no man knows when the hollow cry will end his life. And you wonder if rebellion spoke. Better you should marvel how they do not burn your province.
Have you preached an Andover this month?
Thank God they have no need of me in Andover.
You baffle me, sir. Why have you returned?
Why? It is all simple. I come to do the devil work. I come to counsel Christians they should belie themselves. There is blood on my head. Can you not see the blood on my head?
Hush! Goody Proctor, I hope you are hardy.
I'm yet 6 months before my time.
Pray be at your ease. We come not for your life, we only wish... Mr. Hale, will you speak with the woman?
Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning.
I've heard it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection with the cause. I come of my own, Goody Proctor, and I would save your husband's life. For if he's taken, I caught myself his murderer. Do you understand me?
What do you want of me?
Goody Proctor, I have gone these 3 months, like our Lord, into the wilderness. I have sold a Christian way for damnation doubled on a minister who counsels men to lie.
It is no lie. You cannot speak of lies.
It is a lie, they are innocent.
I will have no more of that.
Let you not mistake your duty as I mistook my own. I came into this village like a bridegroom to his beloved, bearing gifts of high religion, the very crowns of holy law I brought. And when I touched with my bright confidence, it died. And when I turned the eye of my great faith, blood flowed up. Beware, Good Proctor. Cleave to no faith when faith brings blood. This mistaken law that leads you to sacrifice. Life, woman. Life is God's most precious gift. No principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. Quail not before God's judgment in this, for 'twill may be God damns a liar less than he that throws his life away with pride. Will you plead with him? I cannot think he will listen to another.
I think that be the devil's argument.
Women, before the laws of God for our swine, we cannot rid his will.
I cannot dispute with you, sir. I lack the learning for it.
Goody Proctor, you are not summoned here for disputation. Be there no wifely tenderness within you. He will die with the sunrise. Your husband. Do you understand that? What say you? Will you plead for his confession? Are you stoned? I tell you true, woman. If I had no other evidence of your unnatural life, your dry eyes now will be sufficient evidence that you have given your soul up to hell. A very ape would weep at such calamity. Had the devil dried up any tear of pity within you? Take her out. It profit nothing she should speak with him.
Excellency, let me speak with him.
You'll strive with him?
Will you contend with him or not?
I promise nothing. Let me speak with him. Pray, leave them, Excellency.
Mr. Proctor, you have been notified, have you not? There's light in the sky, mister. That you take counsel with your wife, and may God help you turn your back on hell.
Excellency.
If If you desire a cup of cider, Mrs. Proctor, I'm sure I... God lead you now.
Child?
It grows.
There's no word of the boys?
There was. Rebecca Samuel keeps them.
You've not seen them?
I have not.
You are a marvel, Elizabeth.
You've been tortured.
Aye. They come for my life now.
I know it.
None have they confessed?
There be many confess.
Who are they?
There be 100 or more, they say. Goody Ballard is one. As I good kind is one. There be many.
Rebecca?
Not Rebecca. She lay one foot in heaven now. Not me hurt her more.
And Giles?
You've not heard of it.
I heard nothing where I'm kept.
Giles is dead.
Or were we hanged?
We were not hanged. He would not answer aye or nay to his indictment. For if he denied the charge, they'd hang him surely, and auction out his property. So we stand mute, and died Christian under the law. And so his sons will now have his farm. It is the law, for he could not be condemned a wizard without he answer the indictment aye or nay.
Then how does he die?
And they press him, John.
Press?
Great stones they lay upon his chest, until he plead aye or nay. They say he gave but 2 words. More weight, he says, and died.
More weight.
Aye. It were a fearsome man, Giles Corey.
I have been thinking that I would confess to them, Elizabeth. What say you if I give them that?
Cannot judge you, John.
What would you have me do?
As you will, I would have it. I want you living, John, that's sure.
Giles's wife, have she confessed?
She will not.
It is a pretense, Elizabeth.
What is?
I cannot mount the gibbet like a saint. It is a fraud. I am not that man. My honesty is broke, Elizabeth. I am no good man. Nothing spoiled by giving them this lie that were not rotten long before.
And yet you've not confessed till now. That speak goodness in you.
Spite only keeps me silent. It's hard to give a lie to dogs. I would have your forgiveness, Elizabeth.
John, it's not for me to give.
I would have you see some honesty in it. Let them that never lie die now to keep their souls. It is a pretense for me. A vanity that will not blind God, nor keep my children out of the wind. What say you?
John, it come to naught that I should forgive you, if you're not forgive yourself. It is not my soul, John, it is yours. Only be sure of this, for I know it now. Whatever you will do, it is a good man does it. I've read my heart this 3 months, John. I've my own sins to count. I need a cold wife to prod that jury.
Enough.
But
Enough.
you should know me.
I will not hear it. I know you.
You carry my sins upon you, John.
No. I take my own. My own.
John, I counted myself so plain, so poorly made. No honest thought could come to me. Suspicion kissed you when I did. I never knew how I should say my love. It were a cold house I kept.
What say you, Proctor? The sun is soon up.
Do as you will, but let none be your judge. Their be no higher judge under heaven than John is. Forgive me, John. Forgive me. I never knew such goodness in the world.
I want my life.
You'll confess yourself.
I will have my life.
God be praised. It is a providence. He will confess. Proctor will confess.
Why do you cry it? It is evil, is it not? It is evil.
I cannot judge you, John.
Then who will judge me? God in heaven. What is John Proctor? What is John Proctor? I think it is honest. I think so. I am no saint. Let Rebecca go like a saint. For me, it is fraud.
I cannot be your judge, John. I cannot.
Would you ever give them such a lie? Say it. Would you ever give them this? You would not. It's evil. If tongues of fire were singeing you, you would not. It is evil. Good then, it is evil, and I do it.
Praise be to God, man. Praise be to God. You will surely be blessed in heaven for this. Come then. Let's have it. Mr. Cheever, are you ready?
Why must it be written?
Why, for the good instruction of the village. We shall post this upon the church door. Now, sir, will you speak clearly and directly for Mr. Cheever's sake? Where is the marshal?
Marshal, hurry!
Now, Mr. Proctor, have you ever seen the devil? Come, man! There is light in the sky. The town waits at the scaffold. I would give out this news. Did you see the devil?
I did.
Praise God.
And when he come to you, what were his demands? Did he beat you to his work upon the earth?
He did.
And you bound yourself to his service. Now come in, woman.
Oh, John, you are well then, eh?
Courage, man, take courage. Let her witness your good example, that she herself may come to God. Now hear it, goody nurse. Mr. Proctor, did you bind yourself to the devil's service?
Why, John!
I did.
Surely you see it profit nothing to keep this conspiracy further. Will you confess yourself with him?
Oh, John, God have his mercy on you.
I say to you, will you confess yourself, goody nurse?
Why, it is a lie. It is a lie. How may I damn myself? I cannot. I cannot.
Mr. Proctor, when the devil come to you, did you see Rebecca Nurse in his company? Courage, man! Did you see this woman with the devil?
No.
Did you see her sister, Mary Easty, with the devil?
No, I did not.
Did you see Martha Corey with the devil?
I did not.
Did you see anyone with the devil?
I did not.
Mr. Proctor, you mistake me. I am not empowered to trade your life for a lie. You most certainly saw some person with the devil. Mr. Proctor, a score of people have already testified they saw this woman with the devil.
Then it is proved. Why must I say it?
Why must you say it? Mr. Proctor, you should rejoice to say it if your soul is to be purged of all love for hell.
They think to go like saints. I like not to spoil their names.
Mr. Proctor, do you think they go like saints?
This woman never thought she'd done the devil's work.
Look, you, mister, you mistake your duty here. It matters not what she thought. She is convicted of the unnatural murder of children. And you, for setting your spirit out against Mary Warren. Your soul alone is the issue here. You will prove its whiteness, or you cannot live in a Christian country. You most certainly saw some person with the devil. Now, will you tell me what persons conspired with you in the devil's company? To your own knowledge, has Rebecca Nurse...
I speak my own sins. I cannot judge another. I have no tongue for it.
Excellency, it is enough he confessed himself. Let him sign it. Let him sign it.
It is a great service, sir. It is a weighty name. It will strike the town the proctor confessed. I beg you let him sign it. The sun is up, Excellency.
Come then. Sign your testimony. Give it to him.
You've all witnessed it. It is enough.
You will not sign it.
You have all witnessed it. What more is needed?
You sport with me. You will sign it. It is no confession, mister.
Praise be to the Lord.
If you please.
No.
Mr. Proctor, I must have...
No. I have signed it. You have seen me. It is enough. You have no need for this.
Proctor, the village must have...
Damn the village! I confess to God, and God has seen my name on this. It is enough.
No, sir, it is not...
I have confessed myself. Is there no good penitence but it be public? God does not need my name nailed upon the church. God sees my name. God knows how black my sins are. It is enough.
Mr. Proctor.
I have 3 children. How may I teach them to walk like men in the world and I sold my friends?
You have not sold...
Beguile me not! I blacken all of them when it is nailed upon the church the very day they hang for silence.
Mr. Proctor, I must have good and legal proof.
You are the high court. Your word is good enough. Tell them I confess myself. Say Proctor broke his knees and wept like a woman. Say what you will, but my name cannot.
It is the same, is it not? If I report it or you sign to
No,
it.
it is not the same. What others say and what I sign to is not the same.
Do you wish to deny this confession when you are free?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then will you explain to me, Mr. Proctor, why you will not...
Because it is my name! Because I kind of have another in my life! Because I lie and I sign myself to lies! Because I'm not worth the dust on the feet of them that hang! How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul! Leave me my name!
Is that document a lie? If it is a lie, I will not have it, mister. What say you? I will not deal in lies. Mr. Proctor, you will give me your good and honest confession in my hand, or I cannot keep you from the rope. Which way do you go, mister? Marshal!
Proctor! Proctor!
Man, you cannot, you will hang!
I can. And there's your first moment that I can. You've made your magic now, for now I do see some shred of goodness in Joe Proctor. Not enough to weave a banner with, but wide enough to keep it from such dogs. Give them no tear. Tears pleasure them. Show honor now. Show a stony heart and sympathy with it.
Let you fear nothing. Another judgment waits us all.
Hang them high over the town! Who weeps for land weeps for corruption!
I've had no friends.
Come, man.
Go to him, goody Proctor, there is yet time! Go to him! Proctor! Proctor!
Woman, plead with him. Woman, it is pride, it is vanity. Be his helper. What profit him to bleed? So the dust praise him, so the worms declare his truth. Go to him. Take his shame away. Free of his goodness now.
God forbid I take it from him.